Hey y'all, let's talk monarch butterflies. The host plant for the monarch butterfly is milkweed. In the state of Florida alone, there are 21 varieties of native milkweed, and you always want to use the milkweed that is native to your area. That is essential in helping their population thrive and survive. And it's pretty easy to determine what type of milkweed is native to your area. You can just do a Google search, or you can visit your local native garden center, and the people there will be happy to share with you what is native to your area and what type of milkweeds you should be planting. I'm going to show you 3 of the native milkweeds I use in my garden in Florida, and just tell you a little bit about each one. This is swamp milkweed, and you can see it's about to flower. And this is one of the best native host plants in Florida to use to attract monarch butterflies to your garden and to provide the food that their caterpillars need. Even though it's called swamp milkweed, it does not need to be planted in a swamp. And milkweed is important to the monarchs because it is the food source that the caterpillars need to thrive. And you can see there's a tiny baby just hatched monarch caterpillar on this leaf, and it will stay on the milkweed and continuously eat the leaves until it is ready to pupate. So without the necessary host plants, the monarch butterflies will have no place to lay their eggs, and there will be nothing to feed the caterpillars, so the future generations of monarchs can thrive. Now, swamp milkweed is a perennial plant, but it does die back when it gets cooler. Unless you're further south, sometimes it stays year-round, like in South Florida. You can see there have been some eggs laid on this one. But when it dies back in the fall, or when it turns cooler in spring, it'll be coming right back again. You can see this swamp milkweed, or Esclepius incarnata, right here, has been eaten down by monarch caterpillars, and you can see it is already starting to grow back, which is fabulous. Another type of milkweed that I have in my garden that is native to Florida is aquatic milkweed, or Esclepius perennis, and I actually have it planted in pots with my caladiums. And you can see it growing up back here. It does have very small leaves. It does get beautiful white flowers on it, and it likes a shadier area. But you can see it has still been eaten by monarchs. They find it. The cool thing about Esclepius perennis, or aquatic milkweed, is that it grows year-round here in Florida, which means when the swamp milkweed, or Esclepius incarnata, and the other milkweed I'm going to talk about in a minute, Esclepius tuberosa, when they die back, the aquatic milkweed is still growing and providing leaves for the year-round monarch population. So it's good to have a combination of several types of milkweed, especially if you're in an area where you could have monarchs year-round. And in the past, I've had monarchs nearly year-round. When it does get cooler, they will go further south, but then they'll be right back again. And I like to have my Esclepius perennis on hand for them to lay eggs on while I'm waiting for my swamp milkweed to grow back. And then the other type of milkweed I have is Esclepius tuberosa. This is butterfly weed milkweed, and it develops a taproot that goes way deep in the ground to have excellent access to water. However, here where I live, you can see it doesn't like grow super fabulously fast. This is this plant's second year in my garden, and this is as big as it is. It does die back and come back, and so at least mine has come back, because I hear other people say theirs died and didn't come back, so I'm happy about that. So one of the types of plants you need to have a successful monarch butterfly garden are nectar plants. Nectar plants are for the butterflies themselves. That is where they get their nutrition to live their butterfly life and do their butterfly thing. This is Tithonia, also known as Mexican sunflower. It is an annual and you can grow it from seed. It grows so easily and the seeds are very easy to buy and order. They sell them on Amazon and you can also order them from seed companies like Eden Brothers. Monarch butterflies absolutely love Tithonia. If you have some of this planted in your butterfly garden, it is like having a neon sign inviting them to come and visit. As you can see, bees love it too. So it's a fabulous, fabulous annual to have in your garden. You want to save the ones that are all dry because you can recover seeds from them. When these get dry, this is very sharp and pokey, which is why I just kind of take something like a little pair of scissors, or you could use pointed tweezers. Actually, these are probably more efficient. And I just kind of scrape the seeds out. You get a lot of seeds from one flower, so you don't need to collect and save every head of the Tithonia, unless you only have one and you're trying to get more. So this is what the seed looks like. And you can see there's some dander in here too, but there's a lot of seeds in here, and you can literally just scrape them up and keep them in a little container. These like this with the little lids, and I'll just put them in the condiment cup, and don't worry, I'll get all the stragglers. And then just use a Sharpie, write the name on the top, and just save them. So once you have one Tithonia plant, you're set forever. And they are annuals, so they're not going to live forever, but they will give you seeds, and you can just keep planting more and more and more. And it's fabulous. You won't ever have to buy seeds again once you have your first group of them. And that will make your monarch butterfly garden actually be an attractor for a lot of other types of butterflies also, and bees. And I've seen my hummingbird that visits nectaring on the Tithonia. So it's a fabulous addition to any butterfly garden. Another butterfly favorite is the red Pentas. And you can see this is a skipper, but all the butterflies love it also. You can find Pentas in your local big box garden stores, but they are probably this variety here, which are the dwarf Pentas, and they don't get very tall. They do bloom, but the coloring is a little bit different on them, whereas the red Pentas are much taller, and this is the original heirloom variety, and this is the one that butterflies love. In the process of creating the dwarf Pentas, the nectar was altered and is just not as delicious to the butterflies as the original. Another most fabulous type of nectar plant are zinnias. Zinnias are gorgeous flowers that add all kinds of color to your garden and draw in a whole lot of butterflies, including the monarch. There are many different types and flower types of zinnias. They come in a bunch of different shapes, sizes, and colors. And pollinators just love them, including the monarch butterfly. And zinnias are so easy to grow by seed. There are a lot of places you can order zinnia seeds online, like Amazon, Eden Brothers. And just like the Tithonia, once you have your flowers, you can gather more seeds from the flowers as they die out. So this is a dried zinnia flower. I'll show you what the zinnia seeds look like. Once you've decided on your collection of nectar plants and host plants, Arranging them and placement is key in helping your little caterpillars thrive and survive and stay safe from predators. You want to make sure that you have lots of plants around your milkweed to give the caterpillars places to hide when they leave their milkweed plant to molt and when they go off to pupate. If you've got your milkweed out in the open, it's really easy for predators like wasps and birds to see them and eat them. And caterpillars can be in very vulnerable states when they're molting and also when they're jay hanging in preparation for pupating. So you want to give them a shroud of protection by surrounding them with other, what you would refer to as neutral plants, or plants that are not host plants, but give a safe cover and camouflage. For example, I've got some swamp milkweed right here that is growing back. It's obviously been snacked on by some caterpillars. And you can see all in and around behind it is an overgrowth of other kinds of plants that they can easily crawl through, climb through, hang from to pupate and keep them safe. It's not easy for birds or wasps to get down into all of that. And that's what you want to consider when placing and planting your milkweed, which is what is nice about this little tuberosa here we were just looking at. It is down and underneath some salvias that have grown up over it, providing it a lot of protection and safe hiding spaces for those little caterpillars. Same with my aquatic milkweed that is hidden among the caladiums and providing a safe place for them as well. There's lots of places a little caterpillar can hide and not be seen. You also want to plant your native milkweed in groupings of 3 to 5 plants in different areas in your garden. That gives the female monarch butterfly lots of options of locations to lay her eggs and the ability to sneak in and out of the garden and not catch the eye of those pesky males. You also might want to consider adding a water feature such as this one or this one, which is a puddling station. It has some sand and some stones in it that male butterflies rely on to get minerals they need. It's called a puddling station. Look, you can see right here's a happy little muncher snacking away on my swamp milkweed. Monarch caterpillars are just cute as can be, and it's so fun to watch them in your garden. So if you want to learn more about butterfly gardening, caterpillars, different types of butterflies, different types of host plants, anything butterfly gardening, then subscribe to my channel because I regularly post videos all about everything I am doing.